The fake McDreamy's back, aka me. I'm gonna be watching my second episode of Grey's Anatomy alongside you guys. Let's get it started.
Turn up the TV.
A massive train wreck occurred just outside of Seattle minutes ago.
911. We just worked a 30-hour shift.
I don't have any clean underwear.
The Vancouver-bound train was...
That's crazy. They worked a 30-hour shift and they can get paid to go back?
Hello. I seem to be a little bit drunk. I was off duty. So was I. Anybody else half in the bottle?
No.
I don't get why she would come in to her shift if she's drunk. That's not helpful to anybody. And if she starts performing any kind of medical procedures while under the influence, that's not good for patients. That's not good for her. It's just a subpar solution. So I don't really understand what she's even doing there. She should be making a little love with McDreamy.
Was that a knock?
Yes.
Do we know what it meant?
No.
Am I invisible?
How much romance? I feel like this isn't a medical show anymore. It's just a romance show. Whoa. What is that? That...
Okay, fine. Maybe it's the second worst.
That was crazy.
So are you gonna pull this pole out of us anytime soon?
Touch uncomfortable.
I'm sorry. We can't do that until we get a better look at what's going on internally. But I assure you, we will work as quickly as possible.
They're taking this very not seriously and a lot of humor with a pole jammed into two people's bodies. Whoa. That's all I can really say right now. Something that I think needs to be done immediately is to give them some sort of back support so that they don't get fatigued and tired and start slouching. Because if they are to slouch when they get tired, and they obviously will get tired, they can do more internal damage with that pole going through them.
You are drunk. Go get yourself a banana bag, IV, put it in your arm, and then find me. Do not speak to any more patients. Do not practice any medicine.
IV drips do not stop hangovers. This is why so many people are opening these IV drip spas, especially in Vegas. I see that happen a lot, and they promise you that it's gonna block or cure your hangover. An IV will hydrate you the same that you can hydrate yourself by drinking some water or drinking some fluids with electrolytes in them. Now that being said, it's gonna be a little bit quicker, but then again, you're also increasing risks because you're opening a hole in your skin to get that IV in. Something to mention about hangovers is that it's not all about dehydration. A hangover is like a catch-all term for all sorts of symptoms: nausea, vomiting, fatigue, dizziness, a dry mouth. Yes, hydration may help some of these things, but it's a complicated process that has a lot of things going on in it. Just giving yourself hydration is not the sole answer.
No, we're fine, honey. Yeah, some redneck tried to outrun the train. Honey, and the train slammed into his ass, and then it rolled.
That hurt?
Oh, no. That dude is toast.
He was doing sutures, it looked like, above her eyebrow. No doctor would perform sutures like that. Keeping your hands elevated like that from a lowered position and doing sutures, you're gonna get fatigued so quickly and your hands are gonna start shaking and you won't be able to do it right. You always need to be above the given situation.
Where you going?
I'm taking your friend for an x-ray.
No offense, little boy, but you look like my oldest son, and he's nothing but trouble.
Yvonne, shut up.
What? I said no offense. I'm just saying, are you sure you're a doctor?
I get that all the time.
What are you doing?
Trying to insert my banana bag, which sounds vaguely dirty, but it isn't.
A banana bag is just an IV bag with normal saline, which is fluids with electrolytes in them. There's also some vitamins in there. Generally, this is given to people who are chronic alcoholics because they're usually nutrient depleted. Giving a banana bag to someone who's healthy and had a few drinks, pretty much useless. Just have some water and give it some time.
His legs,
What about them?
they're both left.
Find the man's leg, Yang. Find it now.
Yes, sir.
They got the wrong leg? And why did she say it only then?
These people are still alive?
They're still making small talk.
Pole's tamponading the wound as far as we can see.
When she says that the wound is being tamponaded by the pole, it means that it's exerting pressure and actually preventing them from bleeding. That's why if you ever get stabbed with something, it's never ideal to just pull it out automatically until you have medical care. That object, whatever it is putting pressure to stop the bleeding.
What if we move one of the patients off the pole to get the saw in there? Then we can hold the pole steady in the other one. Move it very slowly and repair the damage as we go.
Who? Which would you move?
With her aortic injuries, her chances of survival are extremely slim no matter what we do.
I don't really buy the realism of this. The aorta is a pulsatile vessel, meaning that every time the heart beats, the aorta moves. So if you have a metal pole that's going through the aorta and has cut it open, there's no way that pole is putting that much pressure that it's preventing her from bleeding out, unless it's like crushing it or compressing it in such a weird way.
So basically, whoever you move doesn't stand a chance.
Why can't they just cut the pole from in between them and then separate
So
them?
how do
and
you
go?
choose? How do you decide who gets to live?
You're a cute doctor. Cute doctors get to call me by my first name.
Bonnie? Okay, Bonnie.
Oh my dreamy. Can you feel me rubbing your foot?
Could you try to wiggle your toes, Mr. Maynard?
Are they moving?
Yes, they are.
Good. That's good, right?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
What about me? Am I moving?
Yes, they are.
Yay, me.
That's probably one of the situations it's okay to lie to a patient.
Is there any chance that we can get out of here sometime this year?
Well, the lab's backed up, and so is radiology, and I can't discharge your friend until I'm certain she doesn't have any internal injuries.
Nowadays, we decide if someone has internal bleeding with an ultrasound called a fast scan.
If I don't find this leg, the chief is gonna cut me from this program, and I cannot go back home, Burke. It is too sunny in Los Angeles. It's sunny every day.
I don't understand what she expects. Does she think that the chief is gonna be like, you couldn't find this leg in the rubble, so that's it, you're cut from the program? I don't understand what her thinking. Is this supposed to be like a comedic aspect? Is she being sarcastic?
In order to operate on Mr. Maynard, we have to separate you two. In order to do that, we have to move you backwards off the pole.
Can't just pull the pole out of both of us?
Well, if we did that, you would both start bleeding very quickly. Too quickly. Right now, the pole is plugging the wounds. Once removed, the organs will shift. And there's a great deal of damage.
So, if you move me, I'll die?
You're being ridiculous. You're gonna be fine. Do you hear me?
I hear you, but we still have to sign the forms. Unless you want our son to end up with my mom.
How long have you two been together?
Since 3rd grade.
Aw.
We're not lovers. We're best friends.
Oh.
We just wanted our kids to have two parents. So we got a sperm donor.
The same donor. So your baby's your brother and sister?
Oh, how cool is that?
Oh my God. God, who writes this stuff?
Yvonne, answer your phone. Yvonne. Yvonne. Yvonne!
Yvonne looks like she passed out. Okay, first thing you do during your code blue, chest compressions, chest compression, chest compression, chest compressions. But also, before you call a code blue, you gotta check for a pulse, because code blue means someone's heart has stopped. And just because someone's unconscious, it doesn't mean they're a code blue. So my man needed to go right up there to the carotid, or to the femoral artery, or to the radial artery. This is usually the best place, and feel if there's a pulse. If there's no pulse, yelling for help while doing chest compressions.
She's lost too much blood. She's been bleeding for hours.
There's no blood. She's not bleeding.
She was bleeding internally.
What's interesting about the abdominal cavity is that the back portion, the posterior portion, which we call the retroperitoneal area, it could actually store a lot of blood. So you can be having a very slow leak of blood into that area and not really know that you're bleeding out. The one thing that makes this less likely is that she was talking, she was moving around. Generally, if you're losing blood, you start having symptoms like you feel fatigued, your eyes are closing, you You feel like you're gonna faint or pass out. Your blood pressure starts dropping. You can even be having some abdominal pain because blood is a natural irritant to the abdominal cavity. So you start feeling pain, and then once we do our exam, we'll note that you have an acute abdomen. We would do an ultrasound or a CAT scan, find the bleeding, and then take you in for what we call an explorative laparotomy, where we literally open up your stomach. By stomach, I mean the skin of your abdomen. Look around, check the entire intestines, find where you're bleeding, fix that area, put everything back in, sew you back up, and get you up and moving again. But in this case, she's lost so much blood that she went into cardiac arrest, meaning her heart stopped. Now he's doing the advanced cardiac life support procedure where he's giving epinephrine, he's doing chest compressions, he's helping her breathe with the bag, and hopefully trying to get her pulse back and get her heart beating again.
Oh, no, Yvonne!
Sorry. Time of death, 2:51.
Watch your hand. Look down.
Meredith.
Dr. Gray.
Meredith.
What about her? We cannot just abandon her. We have an obligation.
Meredith, come on, there was too much damage. There was never anything we could do. We have to let her go. Time of death, 3:49.
One of the most difficult parts about medicine is triage, knowing who you can help in a given moment and knowing where to use resources when they're very limited. Some of those decisions are heart-wrenching, they're incredibly difficult to make. At times it feels like you're playing God and it's putting you in the most unfair situations, but you have to do your best, given what limited resources you have and what limited information you have, to make the best possible and fairest decision. I applaud all first responders in these types of mass casualty situations. Growing up in New York City, thinking about 9/11, what that must have been like for people who were working in the local New York City hospitals. It scares me, it blows my mind all at the same time. I've trained in level 1 trauma centers during my medical school time, and just having a few people come in with gunshot wounds or knife wounds or bicycle accidents, those are incredibly stressful situations. You never know what to expect. You always have to be thinking quickly on your feet. So then to imagine what it must be like when hundreds of people or even thousands of people are coming in, wow. So huge thank you to all the people that have ever been involved or may ever be involved in those types of situations in the future. We really respect you and thank you for your service.
Did she suffer?
No. Her injury.
Again, these conversations don't happen in the open. This is not right.
Better get cleaned up. Rounds. 5 minutes.
Today's been
I don't get it. They work 30 hours, then they come in for an emergency, look like they worked for another 12 hours. They've been working for 42, now they're going to morning rounds. Do they ever get time off? Oh man, you guys recommended a doozy here. It presented an interesting situation, unfortunate for the patient that died. Kind of shows you that doctors are sometimes put into really tight spots where they have to use limited information, limited resources, and sometimes let one life go in order to save another, and that's a very, very, very unfair and tight situation that we find ourselves in. That's what we asked for when we decided to go into medicine, and that's why it's a beautiful field, and we get so much admiration put upon us as doctors because we have to make those decisions. I like Grey's Anatomy. It's a fun show. There's a lot of drama in it. Drop it down below in the comments. Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so that you know when all my videos are coming up. As always, stay happy and healthy. That's why if you ever get stabbed with something, it's not ideal to just pull it out until you have medical care around you, because what even was that?